How we doing, guys? Good evening. I hope everybody's okay. And we'll just wait now for a couple to join us. Hi, I can't see who that is who's just joined me. Say hello. Hi guys, good evening. How are you? Just wondering who's on here with me this evening. Let's see if I can get this thing to... Okay. Comments. We can't see who's there. Wow. We're having problems again. Nothing new there for me. Right, let's see if I can sort this out. Okay. Anybody have any ideas how to turn on comments here? Sandy, how you doing? I can see you now. How are you? Anybody else in there? Jill, how you doing, Jill? Anybody else want to say hello? Okay. What I wanted to talk tonight about was the journey and what the journey is and what it means to you. So I would appreciate any questions if there's any questions. And as I say, I'll do my best to answer them. So the journey is about why we're here. What is our journey here? What is it about? You know, people have different, again, interpretations of life and what life is about and why they're here. Do you understand why you're here? Do you understand what the journey is? For me, the journey is about my spirituality and about going home. Okay, so where's home? Well, home can be in many places. And home is wherever you're happy and where your heart is. So on this planet, on this plane, we have our homes. But where is the real home? Is it in this place called heaven, which is outside of us? Or is it within us? Are you aware of it? Do you know where you are? Do you know who you are? We vibrate at this density because we are human. And because we have to live on this planet and we have to take form to be here, we take this form. So we live in an atmosphere that has certain chemicals, and so we appear here as this form, as a solid form, but we are actually vibrating. And again, are people aware that they're vibrating? Are people aware that it's energy and that they are energy, and they're vibrating at a certain frequency? And that frequency is where and how we attract things to us. So this journey is about yourself. Every journey is about yourself in the end. But the journey into self-realization is very, very simple. We're looking for answers. So how do we find those answers? The first thing to do is ask a question. And the question again is, why am I here? Okay? My own personal opinion is that we're here to experience love. Love in an unconditional way. Love that isn't made up of falling in love and being in love and if you love me this and if you don't love me that. It's not about love and condition. This journey is about understanding that we're all here together on this plane and that we're all going to ascend, if you want, to a higher plane. And we will vibrate at a higher frequency, which is the spirit frequency. We vibrate at this frequency in mind and in heart. Okay, the frequencies are connected. So the frequency of the heart again is love. The heart is associated with love. So how do we find this frequency, and how can we love without condition? Again, I ask anybody who wants to ask questions, do so. But to love without condition is very simple. It's expect nothing. You know, it's okay to love somebody. It's okay to be loved with somebody, but don't expect anything back. Love without condition. You don't have to love me because I love you. All you've got to do is be love also. And that vibration and that frequency will connect us together and take us on the same journey. But if you love in a way that leads you to insecurity or leads you to conditioning or rules or regulations, or it has to be this way, you have to love me back, or you have to tell me I love you. If I tell you I love you, you've got to tell me back. It's not like that, and we don't have to do that. Love is I love you regardless. It doesn't matter. It's not important why or how or anything else. What is I love you. And love is unconditional. It's not about anything else other than love. There is no in love. There is no falling. There is no nothing. That they are all human condition associated with love. And it doesn't really matter. So again, the journey. What's this journey about? Well, I think it's about love, and I think when we die, the only thing we take with us is love, and the only thing that we leave behind is love. We take the love of those who loved us, and we take that memory with us. And if we are happy in love and happy being love, then I don't think there's any fear of death, because we're just going further in. We're just become part of the whole again, part of everything that is. God's not outside us, and God is a being that was created by different religions, and he manifests in many ways. He manifests as Great Spirit. He manifests as Buddha, Allah, and all these other deities that we associate with a God that's better than us and that's outside of us. There's nothing outside of us. We are it. This is our journey. We are the ones responsible for everything that we say and everything that we do. And so when you love completely, and you love honestly, and you just love. No condition. Don't expect anything back for it. Just be love, and then it will be attracted to you, and you will attract it to yourself, and you will become. Hello, Maurice. How are you? So you will be attracted to it. It will be attracted to you, and that's the frequency that we should vibrate on, which is love. And if you send out that frequency, that will be returned to you, because that's the universal law, the law of attraction. What you put out comes back. So, you've got to be mindful of everything that you say and everything that you do, because your mind is also part of your spirit. I think that the mind and the spirit are one, because they've opened the head, they've looked at the brain, they've done all this stuff, and they've never found the mind. So I think that the mind and the spirit are one. I think that's our essence, and that's what we are. So being mindful simply means just taking account for yourself and of yourself, of how you're feeling, how you're behaving, what you do, how you do it every day. You should get up in the morning and be mindful that this is a new day, and be grateful for the day that's there and for what's ahead of you. Be mindful for the things that you're going to do and the things that you want to do, and also be very mindful about what you create in your life. If you create discourse, then you will have discourse in your life. If you create peace, you will have peace. But again, the mind is responsible for that. Because if the mind is ruled by fear, then you're in trouble. If you're afraid to take chances, or if you're afraid to love, or if you're afraid to do something, the fear gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then the fear becomes the problem. And then you create what you're most afraid of. And what we're most afraid of is being wrong. Wrong decisions, wrong thoughts, wrong relationships, wrong life, wrong everything. That's what we're afraid of. And we're also afraid of what people may think or say. So when we're in a situation, we need to be mindful of ourselves, and mindful of what we're doing, what we're thinking, and how we're going about it. Life is just what we are. We are life. We're living. So that's what life is. But what's it about? Well, it's about what you want it to be about, what you make it to be. If you're in a situation where you believe that you're less than, or you're not good enough. And our conditioning through childhood and everything else has brought us to that phase as adults. We still carry the scars, and we still carry the memories and the thoughts and the emotions from those times. And when you're young and you're told, you know, you're not good enough, and you're conditioned to believe if you don't do this, and if you do that, and if you don't want to do this, then, you know, you're not good enough. So we carry that into our adulthood. And then generally we teach it to our young, and we pass it on again, and the circle becomes the circle. But you've got to be mindful. You've got to be mindful about what you're doing, and you've got to be mindful about what you say. Everything that comes from your mouth is your decision. Everything that comes from your mouth, hey, Kiara, everything is very, very important, okay? But the importance is what it means to you. It doesn't mean anything to anybody else. How you feel about yourself and what you do is about you. So you've got to be mindful about how you treat yourself, and treat yourself well, and try to be kind to yourself. If you were in love with somebody, and you know, you would treat them so good and so kind, and you take care of them, and you have their best interests at heart, well, you got to love yourself in the same fashion, and you got to treat yourself with the same thing. And if there's something in your life that you don't like, or you're not is not part of your journey, or you don't want to be part of your journey, then change it. You've got the power to change. You've got the mind to change. So change your mind. Also, be mindful of everything that you're in. Everybody that you talk to, be mindful of your speech. Be mindful of the way you act and how you carry on. And that will change your energy. That will change the energy field around you. That will attract the love to you. But like I said, you got to love yourself. And I don't mean that in what we'll call an egotistical way, because, you know, I believe that the ego is the I am. So every affirmation starts with I am. So be kind to yourself and be good. But ego, like anything else, in excess is a problem. If you're drinking alcohol in excess, it's a problem. And if you do anything in excess, it's going to cause you a problem. Whether that be go to the gym a day, twice a day, 3 days, whatever it is, if you do it in excess, it's going to cause you a problem. So even good things can cause you a problem. So be mindful of what you say, what you do, and how you do it. Create your own reality, because you're responsible. So do that every day. Be mindful when you wake up, what do you want from this day? Ask yourself the question. Be grateful for the air that you're breathing, and the fact that you're strong and healthy and well. And also the fact that your family and the people that you love are strong, healthy and well. So you're having a good day. So be mindful of these things. Be mindful of your voice when you speak to other people, how you speak to them. Okay? What you put out comes back to you. It is the law of attraction. The energy and the frequency you send out comes back. That's what the law of attraction is about. Manifestation is about making things happen for you in the way that you want. But like everything else, life, you have to participate. You have to get in there, and you've got to do the work, and you've got to make things happen. You can sit back and tell yourself, I am this, that, and the other, but eventually you're going to have to go out and do it. So my advice is, be mindful of yourself, be mindful of what you do and how you do it. Love yourself, but love without condition. Sometimes you're going to make mistakes. Mistakes are made, but these are all learning curves for us. So we need to learn from our mistakes. A mistake is something that you do once. It's not something that you repeat. That's not a mistake. That's silly. So don't keep repeating the same mistakes. If you're in a situation you don't like, then change it. You can do that. Now, another thing I'd like to talk about is energy. What is energy? Okay. Well, there's energy all around us. Everything vibrates at an energetic level. So we've got energy all around us. So how do you know that there's energy around you? How can you see your own energy? How can you feel your own energy? Well, as a healer, what I generally do is I find that my hands will heat up when I'm working. So I know that there's energy between me and the person. I can feel that other person's energy. I can connect into that energy. So to be aware of the energy around you and the people and the energy that's coming off those people, you have to let go with your mind, if you like. You've got to let go of any thought pattern or anything else, and just trust your intuition. The third eye chakra up here will be your intuitive mechanism. So feel with that. You know, close your eyes for a little bit, see it in your head, and then just feel with that. Feel the energy around you and feel what's around you. Bring your hands together like so. And if some of you want to try this, you can try this. And just keep the energy there and hold the energy there. And you'll find that you'll feel, if you move your hands like so, you can feel your own energy. And that's the energy that we use when we're healing and when we're working together. So if you want to try that for a couple of seconds, then try it. Just bring the hands close together, relax, and then you feel the heat start to build up in the middle of your hands. And if you pull back a little bit, you'll still feel the pull. It's like a magnetic pull on it. So you can move your hands and see how far out you can go into the energy field. And that's what energy is about. That's what energy healers use to heal. Michaela, how are you? Rosalba. How are you doing? Michaela, hi. So, as healers, this is what we're here to do. We're here to help, and we're here to bring people forward, and we're here to show that, you know, this life is just experience, and it's only about experience. The more you practice with your healing, the better you're going to become. The more you practice with your intuition, the better you're going to become. There's no healers out there that are better than any other healer. We just have all different modules or modes of healing that we use. And those of us who use them become good at it because we're working with it, we're practicing it, we're using it every day. So we work with it. So work with your own intuition every day. Feel yourself. Feel for yourself. Trust your intuition. Trust your gut instinct. You know, if you close your eyes and focus on your pineal gland or on your third eye, okay, see the light come out of there and radiate. Make that happen yourself. So just for a second, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to close your eyes, okay, and then just feel here and see it. And it'll feel like a little bit of pressure on your head. And see if you can feel your pineal gland. So just for a couple of seconds now, everybody just close their eyes, take a deep breath, and feel. And what you should feel, or what I feel is, I feel just a little bit of pressure on my forehead. And I know now that my pineal gland is open and my awareness is there. And that's the same energy that we have in our hands. It's all connected. All this energy is connected. The heart energy, the chakra energy, the body energy, everything outside us, we're all connected. Every single one of us. And that's why sometimes you feel a connection to people and you kind of go, oh God, I think I know that person. It's probably because you're on the same frequency and you're working off the same frequency as them. So those of you who've done any of the two things I've spoken about, the energy with the hands and the energy with the pineal gland, can you just put a message up there to say yes or no, that you've got it? Okay, nobody's done it. So, how many healers are on here this evening? Or how many people are interested in healing? How many people know what energy transference is? Okay, hey Jill. Okay, well let's talk about the energy that we are. Energy is a frequency, okay, and it's a connection to everything and everybody. So we're all connected through energy field and through frequency. So we have to be aware of our energy. And when you're working and healing with somebody, what I find is that I connect into their energy, but always ask permission. Always ask permission to connect into somebody's energy. Don't just do it, okay? It's an invasion of privacy if you do. So the energy within us, okay, is the same energy that's outside of us. We're all connected to it. You can call it God energy, you can call it spirit energy, you can call it anything you want. The bottom line is that we're all connected, okay? And we're all connected on frequencies. And as I said, that's how we manifest. And the energy within and without is the same. There's no difference. When you're working as a healer, you need to be aware of energies. You need to be aware of what's around you. You need to be aware of energy transference. I've done some healings with people and the energy hasn't been good. When I work with people that are sick, if they have cancer, I can feel that energy, and I can smell it, and it's not a good energy. And when it's on my hands, it makes my hands very sticky. So you've got to be aware of the person that you're working with, and you've got to be aware of the energy around it. You've also got to be very, very aware that you protect yourself. So as a healer, stop the energy at your hands before you start. Use your traditions or your if you're going to meditate or you're going to do something, you're going to work with somebody, you light your candles, you light your incense, okay? That's all rehearsal for what you're about to do and to connect to an energy. But when you're working with people, stop the energy at your hands. Don't allow it to pass any further than your hands. And then you go and you wash your hands after you've done the treatment, and you wash away any negativity that you've picked up, but it does not pass into your body. You have to protect yourself. You got to protect your mind, and you got to protect your body. I've worked with spirit, and I've worked with some spirits that weren't so nice. You know, I do house clearings, and I've gone in and I've worked with entities that just didn't want to work with me, and they caused some problems. I've had many, many, many spiritual interactions, and some of them have been, let's say, hard work. But you can't allow fear to come into it, because if you allow fear to come in, then the fear will, as an energy, because fear is energy also, it will transfer into you, okay? Because you're connected, it's your fear also. But the transference of energy into you will escalate your fear, and it will make a lot of problems for you. So you always close your energy field, or your aura as it's called, and you always keep yourself safe, okay? The most important thing when you're healing is that you understand what you're doing, you don't go in blind, and you always ask permission from the person that you're working with. You don't work without their permission, okay? I've been asked to do healings on people that were that I didn't know, and you know, I've been asked to go in and do it, and I refuse to do it because I won't work on anybody without their permission. I can do distance healing, I do distance healing, and again, I won't do it without the person's permission. Okay, so as healers, we don't work without permission. We always ask permission, and then we ask for help, and that comes from Great Spirit, or it comes from God, or it comes from whatever you believe in. So my point is this: be very aware of the energies around you and what you're working with. Be very aware of the energy within yourself, okay? And remember, if you've had a bad day and you're having some problems, you know, you can hold on to that negative energy too, and you can pass it on. So be very aware of the energy that's leaving your body too. So I would always recommend to sort of meditate first and clear your own energy, clear your energy field and clear your aura before you work with somebody. Then stop it at your hands. They're not allowed to go any further than your hands. And then wash your hands after you're finished. You know, all the other rituals that we do, and all the other ceremonies that we do, you call them whichever you choose, are all to prepare us for the work that we're about to do. So you've got to be aware of the energies around you. So energy awareness is very, very important, particularly when you're working with somebody else, okay? Because you can transfer energy, and they can transfer energy to you. And sometimes, you know, when you're working with people, you can pick up on their energy and you can carry it with you, and you don't know what's wrong with you. You don't know why you're feeling bad, or you're not feeling so hot, or there might be an issue. So you need to look at that. So Jill, how do you know where your healing energy is sourced from? Good question. Where is the source? Well, the source is within yourself, and you're the connection to the source. So your source is all around you, it's within you. And if you like to take this analogy, is imagine yourself as a drop of water, and you fall back into the ocean, and you become part of the whole. you're still an awareness, you're still a part of that. So there's still an awareness of yourself and your own energy, but there's also an awareness of everything else around you. So the source is from yourself and within yourself, because we're not separate from God or Spirit or Allah. We are part of this, and we're all part of each other. And that's how we can connect at different levels. So I hope that answers your question. The source is you. You're the source of all energy, and all energy is within you. You're connected to everything. So there we go. On energy transference, energy is a very, very important thing because it's what we are. We all vibrate at a certain density, as I said, because we live on this planet. And if you think that you're separate from any of this, you're right in the middle of it every day, every minute of every day. So you're not separate. It's you and you're it. All begins and ends with you, as I say so many times. Now, has anybody any questions? I'll leave the floor open for a couple of minutes. So if anybody has any questions on any of that. Greco, how are you? Ivana, how are you doing, guys? Angela, hello Angela, welcome aboard. We've just been talking about energy and why we're here and the journey that we're on. So if anybody has any questions about that, please ask. Tina, how are you? And Monica, how are you? So like I say, this journey is about knowledge, and it's about knowledge is power. So we're looking here to increase our knowledge and increase our power. And our power is our energy, and we're connected to all. Jesus, when he walked this earth, had a lot of knowledge and he had a lot of power because he understood who he was and what he was, and he had great belief in himself, which is something that we are not taught. We're always taught to question ourselves, and we're always taught to question what we can't see. And if we can't see it, then how can we feel it? Because we can feel it because it's energy. So we're connected to the energy. And also, you got to ask yourself, this journey, what's this journey about for you? What do you want out of this? What do you think you're here for? Are you aware of your journey and why you're here? Hello Noel, how are you? What's the purpose of it and what's the destination? Where are we going? Where do we go back to? What is this life about? Is it just, we come here for a certain amount of years and then we just walk away and walk out of it, or die and then there's no more? So these are all questions that I ask all the time, because I believe that this journey is about love, and love is the only thing that matters. You can't take money, houses, cars, or anything else with you. All you can take with you is love. So once again, I'd invite any questions on anything at all, and we'll see how we can cover it. Hey Janice, how are you? So, anything? Anybody? Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Let's talk about mind. What is mind? Is mind inside us or is it outside us? Is it a part of us or not? Are we mind or are we body? Are we material? What are we? And as I said, the people have worked on the brain. Good stuff, Janet. I'm glad to hear it. Theodora, how are you? Greco, you're back. How are you? I can't understand the Italian, Greco, so good for you, Noel. I'm glad to hear it. So, let's talk about mind for a little bit. As I said, is it part of us? Is it outside us? Is it inside us? When they opened the brain and they've done lots of dissection on brains and that, they never found the mind. When they've opened the body and worked on the body, they never found the mind. So is the mind outside us? Are we somewhere else experiencing at this energy or at this level? Is it something that we can control, or is it something that controls us? So these are questions that, I have thought about. And I think we are mind. I think mind is spirit, and I believe that it's connected. There's no separation, because depending on your mindset, okay, and that's going to determine how you're going to go about things. If you think you can do something, then you can do it. If you think you can't, then you can't. If you think that you're separate, then you are, and if you think that you're part of, then you are. So your mindset determines everything for you. As a healer, when I'm working, I'm very again mindful about the person that's on the plinth in front of me. I'm very mindful of, they've trusted me and they're in my hands. The mind is a very powerful tool, Janice. It absolutely is, because your mind will determine what happens next, and your mind will determine whether or not you can or cannot do something, because that's the first place it goes through is your mind. So your mindset is very important, because what you think is what you're going to believe, okay? And if you think it, then you can create it. And that can be any emotion that you want. So your mindset is very important. So set your mind that you want to do the best you can for yourself first. Now, if you can't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. If you don't understand what love is, then you don't. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to believe in you either. So, thank you, Greco. You don't understand English. And unfortunately, I don't understand Italian very well. But hopefully somebody can translate this for you, or they can do it on Bridges of Light. Maybe they can transfer it. So your mindset is determines what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. Okay, so if you have a mindset that you can't achieve, then you won't achieve it. If you have a mindset that anything is possible, then anything will be possible. Your mind is your spirit, it's your energy, is what you are. The frequency of the heart and mind are connected. It's an electromagnetic frequency, so it's connected. When we think something, we create it. Okay, if you think about something for long enough, you can create it. And that also can work in the negative. So you got to look at your mindset. How are you going to go about this? I see a lot of people, and I work with a lot of people that have been abused and have had a lot of issues. And the mindset is very doubtful. They're doubtful of themselves and their abilities and who they are and what they are. But the other thing that they seem to do is they seem to hold on to the past. And that past, their mind stays there and goes back there and relives and relives and relives the situation. And that's not going to help, okay? Because what's in the past is in the past. You can't change the past, and you can't see tomorrow. And nothing is promised of tomorrow. So we only have now. So are you going to live in the now? Is your mind going to accept that now is what you have, and now you're in charge, and now you can do what you want to do? And if you don't make the right choices, you're going to stay in the same mindset that you've been in a negative mindset. And if you don't change your mindset, you're just going to carry on reliving it over and over and over. So the mindset is very, very important, okay? And it's very important to think highly of yourself. And I'm not talking about arrogance, and I'm not talking about, oh, I'm better than everybody else. There is nobody better than anybody. We're all equal. We all come through the same journey. The difference is we all take different roads to get to the same destination. So your mindset will determine how you get there, if it's a hard journey or if it's not a hard journey. So let's just say, for instance, you have the mindset of what we call victim. Okay, I don't like the word victim, as I said, because I think we're all here to experience, and the good and the bad that we experience is a choice that we make, and it's a thing that we do. So I don't think there's any victims as such. I think maybe we got into something unaware, and we became aware of it then, and now we're victims. We're not victims of anybody or anything. All we are is experiencing. Some of our experiences are not good, some of them are good. But you can't blame somebody else for the way you're living your life. That's your choice, that's your mindset. If you think you're a victim, then you will behave like a victim. If you think you're a warrior, then you will behave like a warrior. It's all up to you. It's all about mindset. Now, can you change your mind? Of course you can change your mind, okay? If you commit to something and you decide that it's not working out for you, then you can change your mind. You can change the direction that you're going in. You can change everything. It's all up to you. You are totally responsible for everything that you say and everything that you do. Nobody else is. And it doesn't matter what happened. It doesn't matter if your boyfriend cheated on you, or your husband, or your wife, or your mommy didn't love you enough, or your daddy didn't love you enough, or whatever. It doesn't matter. How do you feel about yourself? You know, you're in control now, and your life is yours. So you can change your mind. You can change the way you do things. You can change the way you think about things. You can change the way you feel about yourself. You can change the way you think about yourself. Okay? So it's all up to you. There's nobody here stopping you from doing anything. So the only person stopping you is you. The only person who puts limits on you is you. The only person who listens to old tales of how good or how bad or not good or not bad you are is you. These people have no control over your life. The only people in control of their lives are ourselves. We are responsible for what we say, and we are responsible for what we do. We are responsible for how we live our lives. Are you going to live your life in the past because somebody controlled you back then when you were innocent, or when you didn't have the power to fight back? And if you're going to do that, then they're still in control. You're not controlling your own life. You're not living your life. So your mindset is the victim mindset. And you've got to ask yourself, is that a happy way to live? Is that how you want to spend the rest of your time, wondering if you're making the right decisions, second guessing yourself, asking yourself, you know, and being afraid to trust and afraid to love and afraid to do things, you know. There is no fear, only the fear itself. And the fear that we have escalates. It creates bigger and bigger problems for us because we get stuck in the fear. And the fear, again, is a mind, it's a thought, and it's connected to our emotions. And it's like every other thing else, you know, we're in charge of our emotions. We're in charge about how we feel about things. You know, we can be happy or we can be sad, we can be excited, we can be lots of things, but we're in charge. So mindset is very, very important, and it's something that we need to be thinking about. And if we need to change our mind about things, then we do that. I've written a book called Surviving Their Love. It's available on Amazon, and it's about change. And in it, the book tells the story of my journey through to where I am today. And there was, you know, times that my behaviour was based on my past, and I behaved in a certain way, in a certain fashion, because I was angry, or because I had this, or because I was afraid. So I had to change that. I had to change that story, because that just kept playing and playing and playing. And every situation I got into, the anger came through, or, you know, I became defensive, or I became aggressive, or whatever. So it all had to change. And the change was within myself. I had to change my mind about how I was living. I had to change my mind about everything, because my life was going down the toilet, and I was very, very self-destructive, and I didn't believe that I was good enough because I was told it wasn't. So I lived that over and over and over, and at some point I had to say, nah, enough is enough now. You know, this past has controlled me for so long now, and my life is passing me by, and I'm angry all the time, and I'm upset all the time, and I'm not living my life to the best of my ability. You know, I'm not sharing with anybody. I kind of became very much a loner, and I didn't trust, and I didn't want anybody near me. And if somebody said, I love you, it was questionable as to, why do you love me? What is that about? What are you looking for? Because the people that I trusted most in my life betrayed me. So, you know, my mindset was, don't trust anybody. I was taught to hit first and ask questions second. I was told, never let anybody get close to you. Nicoletta, how are you? And I did all those things, and I lived my life that way. And it wasn't, it was an experience. Not all of it was good. So I had to change my mind. And I had to become aware of my thoughts, and I had to become aware of my behaviors, and I had to become aware of the things that I was doing that were self-destructive. Because if you're going to live in the past because your father said you weren't good enough, because your mother betrayed you, because you had a loss, because you had an injury or a hurt, If you're going to live in that all the time, then you're going to be in trouble because you're not living to your fullest. To live to your fullest just means be open in love. As I said about love earlier on, love is what we are. This is what the journey is about. It's about finding and becoming aware of love, as love is pure, not in the human sense, not in the conditioned sense that we humans put on it. I love you, so you got to say you love me back. And we say I love so easily. Oh, I love ice cream. I love this, I love that, I love the other. It's just a 4-letter word that they use. But real love is just real energy. It's an energy. It's that energy that when you see your child, or that first kiss, or that first moment when you realise that the love is come from in here. And your mind is spinning, and your mind is happy, and you're happy, and your whole body vibrates that love and that energy. That's what love is. Okay, it's not conditioned, it's not based on anything. It's just based on you, how you feel. And if you allow that sort of love into your life, well then you won't be too disappointed, because some people will love you back and some people won't. But if you love at that frequency and at that level, you will attract it to you. It will come back to you, but it has to be love without condition, not the human condition. Yes, Janet, we take pure love home when we leave here, but where is home? Home is where we perceive it to be. Is it heaven? Where's heaven? Is it up in the sky? Where is it? I think that home is our spirit. It's the energy that we all are, the connection that we all have. When I met you a long time ago, we had a connection. Okay, and that connection is still there, and there's still that understanding and that knowing of each other. That's home. That's comfortable, and it's that place of peace that I know you love me and you know I love you, and that's okay. And the love is no condition. You don't owe me anything and I don't owe you anything. We're friends and we care about each other. And one of the things I've always said is this: how do you know the difference between I like you and I love you? For me, it's very simple. If I like you, I like you. I'll go a certain distance for you. But if I love you, I have no limits. I have no conditions. I love you, and that's that. And Evelyn, how are you? Home is a feeling for you. Yeah, it is a feeling. And when we go on into this other world, I hope we still feel. I believe that we will, and I believe that we're still part of all the energy that's here and all the energy that's on the other side, that we just become pure spirit again and pure energy, and we understand why we came here. If we don't understand why we came here, why we're here, I reckon we might have to go back and do it again. I'm hoping this is my last time. I don't want to come back again. I want to be somebody's spirit guide. I watch out for them from that perspective. But yeah, home is a feeling. And I remember when I lived in America and I'd come home to Ireland every so often. And when I'd come in over Hope there, and that feeling of I'm home, I understand the feeling, and it's a beautiful feeling. So yeah, home is a feeling. So what we need to do is we need to look at this mind and be aware of our thoughts and be aware of our feelings and be aware of ourselves, and not be triggered by stuff from the past. The past is the past. It doesn't matter. It makes no difference now. We all have triggers and we all have upsets and we've all got things that we have to deal with through life, but it's okay. If we're aware of our thoughts and if we're aware of our mind and if we're aware of those things, then we're aware of the changes in our body and in our being and in our energies. So we need to be very, very aware of ourselves. So journey into mind for a little while, when you get time, when you meditate, journey in there and see where you're at. And don't try to stop your mind from thinking or your mind from creating while you're in meditation. Just let it happen. Whatever comes, comes. Don't focus on it. Your answers will come, but don't focus. So again, your mindset, what is it? Have a look at it, see. And you can change your mind if you choose to. Okay, you just have to be aware of where you are and what you're thinking. And those thoughts and those actions and those feelings, just be aware of them. And if you find something that's upsetting or that's something that's repeating itself, ask yourself, why do I need this? This is done. I've experienced this. I don't need this experience again. So don't experience it again. Let it go. It's done. You know, the mind is a very powerful tool, and it can cause lots of problems if you allow it to. So be aware of your mind. Be aware of your mindset. And sometimes don't think, just feel. Use that pineal gland up there just to feel, and use your heart. And don't be in mind, you know, because mind will connect to negative feelings as much as it will connect to happy feelings. So just be. Expect nothing, and then everything you get is a bonus. Ask for nothing, and everything you get is a bonus. Just be. Let your life unfold. Be happy. Love unconditionally, without condition. So again, you don't have to tell me you love me. If I've said I love you, or if I say I love somebody, I don't expect them to say it back to me. It's okay. You know, because I know that my intention is pure, and I do love you, and I do care about you. So that's it. That's all I need to know. That I'm just being love, and there's no condition to that love. You don't owe me anything. Not a single thing. So let's talk about healing now. What is healing, or what do we perceive healing to be? Healing for me is a place of peace. Okay, it's looking at a situation and realizing that it doesn't affect me in a negative way anymore. I love the healing. I love the hurt. I love the journey that I've taken. I love the experience that I've had. But that's all it's been, is an experience. It's no more than that. And that experience, if we take it on and we repeat it through other things, and we look for it in other things, we will find it. So you need to let it go. If something has been negative in your life, and if something has been positive in your life, then enjoy those things. Negative and positive is irrelevant. What's relevant is the experience that we're having. And it's negative and positive, again, from your awareness and your mindset and your energy field, how you feel about it. And that's what makes the difference. So if you've had a negative experience with somebody or something, let it go. It's a lesson. Like I said, everybody makes mistakes. We can all make a mistake. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're wrong, or we're not good enough, or we can't, or we're stupid, or we're any of these things. That's not what it's about. A mistake is something that you can make. Now, if you repeat the mistake, you really want to start looking at your lessons, because you're not learning. Gaetano, how are you, my friend? So we can't repeat the mistake and then keep saying it's a mistake. We have to become aware, and we have to take notes, okay? And we have to look at it. So as a healer, I teach people this. You know, you are a sum of all your experiences. How you deal with your experiences is your mindset, okay? It's your awareness. So are you aware enough to know that you're absolutely perfect as you are? Mistakes are lessons, okay? We learn from them. When we mess up, it's a lesson. So failure is a lesson also. So we need to focus on the good, not on the bad. So you made a mistake. So what? Now you know not to do that again. And that's okay. And all the negative things that you're taught, you let them go. If you don't value yourself, nobody is going to value you, okay? And as an energy healer and as a shamanic healer, which I've been doing for many, many years, I've learned that, you know, a lot of people come to me with the same thing, and it's always the same. I had this certain issue, and I was told this, and this is what I believe, okay? And then we hold that in our bodies in certain places. But one of the places that we hold most of it is in our mind. And again, going back to the mind, you have to understand, it's your mindset. It's what you're doing. You're doing it. You're living it. You're repeating it. So you're in charge. And you don't have to do it that way. You can change it. So you can change your mind. Just be aware of what you're thinking. Be aware of how you're feeling. Be aware of what you're doing. You're in charge. Nobody else. So, any questions, anybody? No? So let's talk about personal healing, okay? And it is personal. It's about us, so it's personal to us. And some people will say, oh, it's not personal because if it involves me, it's personal to me, and if it involves you, it's personal to you. So our personal healing, our journey, right back to the start. This journey is about healing, okay? It's about experiencing, and it's about understanding, and it's about not holding, and it's about just loving everything that happens to us. When I came into this world to do this journey, I'd already sort of signed a contract that I was going to experience certain things and know certain things. So I've spent my life learning those things, and I've spent my life learning lessons, and some of the stuff I've done has been good, and some of the stuff I've done has not been so good. But at the end of the day, it's got me to where I am and to who I am. So it's very important that you understand that. Live your life with your best foot forward. Live your life with the best outlook you can. If you connect to the frequency, then you can manifest anything that you want. But if your frequency is a low frequency, you'll also manifest what you don't want. So raise your vibration, raise your frequency, raise your awareness, raise your mindset, and heal yourself, okay? Because everything begins and ends with you. It's your decision. You can come to me and I can put you on a plinth and I can tell you, I see this or I see that, or you're holding this or you're holding that. But unless you're willing to let it go, and unless you're willing to move forward, it's going to keep staying there, and you can come back to me again and again and again, and you won't learn. I've worked with people who told me no matter what happens, they're not good enough, they'll never be good enough. They won't change their mind, they won't change their mindset. And you have to do that for your healing, for your personal healing. So I kind of have this theory that the most important thing we hear about all this stuff is forgiveness. You have to forgive the person who hurt you. You have to forgive the person that's done this, that, or the other. And you've got to let that forgiveness come out of you, and you'll be in a better place because you feel better once you forgive. But forgiveness starts with you and ends with you. And forgiveness is about yourself. Forgive yourself for the mistakes that you've made. Forgive yourself for the hurt that you're causing yourself. Forgive yourself for everything. But forgiveness begins with you. It's not with somebody else. Because one of the things when we're hurt or when we're in a situation that's has compromised is we always ask the same question. What did I do wrong? Was it me? Am I stupid? And you always come back to the negative in yourself. Instead of saying, that person over there was the one who caused this problem for me. So you don't need to forgive them. You need to forgive yourself for putting yourself in that situation. And you need to forgive yourself for not understanding or not being aware or just making a mistake. You need to forgive yourself for all those things, firstly. Then you need to let go. It doesn't matter what the other person has done because that other person is no longer a part of your life or can no longer do that again because now you have the awareness of it. So you have awareness of mind and it's in your mind. And be aware. There's an old expression that, you hurt me once, shame on you. Hurt me twice or fool me twice, then shame on me. So don't let that happen. Always. Okay? Forgive yourself first. If you forgive yourself first, then you'll be able to let go. Because it could have been for any number of reasons that you made a mistake, but it was just a mistake. And as I said, a mistake is something that we do once or twice maybe. But if we continue to make the mistake, then you really need to start looking at yourself and what you're doing. The most important thing is finding your peace. Because if you work from a place of peace, or from a place of peace even, where you're quiet, and your mind is quiet, and you're not irrational, and you're not scared, and you're not angry, and you're not all hyped up, and you're just working from a calmness, the calmness that is you. And that is our spirit. Our spirit is really calm. And when we're peaceful, we can be peaceful in love and with love, and we can be peaceful in any situation that we're in. Peaceful at the beach, peaceful in the mountains, peaceful at home. It's that peace that we need every day. And we need to bring that forward when we're dealing with other people and other situations. And deal from a calm place, a place of trust in yourself, love for yourself, and respect for yourself. and only do what's good for yourself. Okay? And if somebody imposes or expects you to do anything else, then you need to take it out. And you need to say, no, you're not taking my peace. This is my peace. This is where I am. This is what I'm about. Okay? And if you can work from a place of peace without getting emotionally involved or personally involved, everything will work out much better. And it takes practice, because we are fragile and we're taught that we're not good enough, and we have all this conditioning that we've got to live through. And that conditioning comes back in different aspects of our lives. And those triggers will trigger us in different aspects of our lives. But what we really need to do is say, that's the past. This is the present. So, this is my journey. Okay, I will be mindful of my journey. I'm aware of the energies around me, and I'm aware of my own energy. And I will stop energy transference. This is my mind. So everything is going to go from there. Your mindset is very important. If it's not working for you, then change your mind. Change it around. Be aware of your mind. Be aware of your thoughts and what you're doing. And be aware of where your mind takes you. Whether it takes you into fear or whether it takes you into joy or wherever it takes you. Be aware of your mind. Okay? Be aware of what you're thinking. The healing is done by forgiving ourselves. The healing is done by accepting ourselves. The healing is done by understanding. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay? The only thing that matters is love. And if you can love from a place without condition, you won't be stressed. You won't be you won't feel neglected, or you won't feel rejected. Because if you can stand and say to somebody, I love you, okay, and I am love, and that's it, I don't expect anything back. But I love you, and I care about you, and I'm here for you. And also, love yourself, care about yourself, and be there for yourself. If you want to find your peace is within. It's within your mindset. So change your mind. Change the way you do things. Be peace. Be happiness. And work from there. And if you work from that energy, you will attract that energy. And if you stay in that energy for as long as you can, and yes, you're going to come out sometimes, but get back there as quick as you can. Go back to your peace. You will generate that in your life. You will generate the people around you in your life who will also be like that. The frequency that you put out is what you're going to attract. If you put out a negative frequency, it's going to come back to you. If you vibrate at a negative frequency, it's going to come back to you as negative. Okay? So don't. Change your mind. Change your frequency. Change the way you do things. Love yourself a little bit better. Forgive yourself a lot. And remember, there's an old adage, you're only human. So if that's the case, then don't worry about it. It's cool. Right, guys, that's my time. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate that. And again, any questions, please put them up. And if there's anything that we need to talk about, we can do that. I would like to do a healing session with somebody on here, because I do healing sessions on computer. A shamanic journey into a past trauma to heal the trauma. So if anybody's interested in doing that with me the next time I'm on, send me a text or get in touch with me, and we will sort that out for you. Thank you, Janet. Thanks, Jill. And we can sort that, and maybe we can do a session on here with one person, and you guys then can see how shamanic healing works. Any questions, contact me. Love and blessings. Take care. Bye-bye.